Hi everyone, Kendall here at Lousy Llama Creations. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to crochet. Hi Peanut! I'm going to be teaching you how to crochet this string of pearls plant, which is perfect for beginner crocheters. If you've never held a crochet hook before, don't worry, I got you. I'm going to walk you through everything from supplies, all the steps to make this and how to finish it, and how to make it look super cute. Okay Peanut, we get it, you're here too. And Peanut is going to help me. You'll see her in a few clips of the video. This is available as a crochet kit. If you're brand new to crocheting, I highly recommend it because with all the little pieces, all the different types of yarn, the right stuffing, the right eyeballs, and just everything you need, the right tools. Learning to crochet can be intimidating. I'm here to take all that out. I'm just here to crochet with you. We're gonna have a good time. If you have any questions along any point, please reach out to me or comment below. I'll make sure to answer them. Let's just hop into the materials and let's get making. Let's take a look at some supplies. So you're gonna need a hook. If you have a crochet kit, this is everything included in your crochet kit. If you don't, I highly recommend getting my crochet kit. I have it listed below. It has all the supplies you need in the wanted quantities and nothing you don't need, just the necessities, which I think is important when you're learning to crochet. You're gonna need a crochet hook. This is a 5mm hook. You'll need some stitch markers. They can look different, but I like these ones that lock on the stitches, so I know they won't come out. You will need a pair of scissors. Crochet kit people, no, it does not come with scissors, but hey, any scissors work. For eyes, these are 8mm safety eyes. You poke them through, and these are the backs for them. This is why I highly recommend getting the kit. It has all these little pieces in it. In terms of yarn, you're gonna need orange, green, and brown, as well as polyester stuffing. If you're getting these without the yarn, without the kits, excuse me, you're gonna want medium weight for worsted yarn. To start your potted plant, we're gonna do something called a magic ring. And the magic ring is how we're gonna start our spiral or our circle to start our pot. To do a magic ring, you're going to place your tail or the end of your yarn in your hand like this, and you're going to form an X over your palm. Then you're going to pinch in the middle. With your hook, you're going to go under the first arm of the X, over the second arm, and pull it underneath that one. Then you're going to shimmy it off, pinch. You're going to tighten it with your finger over here. And we're going to do something called a chain, which is where you put the yarn on top of your hook like this, and you pull through. And that's your magic ring. Don't worry, let me show that to you again. Magic rings trip up a lot of crocheters, but you just have to remember that you just have to wrap around and form an X. You have the tail, forming the X, pinch in the middle, under, over. I also twist my hook down so I can scoop it. I'm twisting it up. Shimmy, shimmy, shimmy. Here it can get a little tricky, so just go slow. This is how I hold my yarn. I have it over these 3 fingers and on top of here. It just kind of depends what you're comfortable with. And then for holding my hook, I hold it like you would use a knife, although a pencil grip is also really popular. It's whatever's comfortable for you. Personally, I like knife grip. That's just what I learned on. That's what I've always used. We have to do our chain 1, which is placing the yarn over and pulling through. And we have our magic ring. Now we have to do 6 single crochets for round 1. This is where we're actually going to start making stitches, and you're actually crocheting. So you're going to place your hook underneath your 2 parts of the circle, so it's the tail and then the loopy part. I'm tightening with my finger. This is how I control my tension. And don't worry, it's going to take a little bit for you to figure out the tightness of yarn, so don't worry right now. I have quite a bit of experience. I'm going to yarn over again, like we did with our chain, and pull up. So you have 2 loops on your hook. Then you're going to yarn over and pull through. That's called a single crochet. It's one of the most basic crochet stitches. That was 1. We have to make 6 total. So I'm going under again, I like to hold it with my finger in our magic loops so it doesn't slide. Yarning over, pulling through. So you have 2 loops. Yarn over. And then here, if you're having some problems, you're going to want to twist your hook down so it slides through. So you have 2. And then 3. Something to get used to on crocheting is that movement of the hook, of up and down, up and down. But once you master that, you're going to find crochet is a lot easier. This is my 5th. Feel free to pause the video. And my 6th. If you want to count, you see these little V's? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Each little V is a stitch. This is a super fun part of making a magic ring. You're gonna pinch right here, and then you're gonna pull it tight. Ah, now you actually have a circle. Awesome. Okay. Now we get to use our stitch markers. I put mine in the last stitch I made. I'm going through both loops. This is gonna help us keep track of our spiral so that we know where the beginning and the end is. As we move on to round 2, make sure you're not crocheting with this, the tail. You want to use the yarn that's attached to your skein or your ball of yarn. For round 2, it says we're going to increase 6 times. An increase is 2 single crochets in the same spot, and you already know how to do a single crochet. So yeah, this is going to be pretty easy. To go into the stitches, you're going to go, if you need to count, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So this is our first stitch that we made. You're going to put your hook. I like to twist mine because the first round's a little tight. Twisting under both loops. And this is where we're going to put our 2 single crochets. Here's 1. Don't move on to the next one. We want to stay in the same hole, same stitch. So we have 2. This is how we're going to turn our 6 single crochets into 12. So in the next stitch, moving over, we're going to do it again, an increase, which just means 2 single crochets. And we're going to do that all the way around. I'm never too sure if I'm going crazy fast in videos, just the right speed, or too slow. If you could please comment and let me know, that would help out a lot for future videos. Videos are great because you can always pause it and rewind it. You can even change the speed on the video, and I'll just talk really slow like a robot, but it could help you see the stitches where you need to. That was my 10th. This was our last one that we made, right? We marked it. You can either work with it with the stitch marker still in it, or remove it. I like to move it so it stays out of the way. All right, so we have our last 2. And don't forget to put the stitch marker back in the last stitch that you made. Get some more yarn out. Hope my cat doesn't steal it because she's right off camera watching me. Round 3. Says 1 single crochet. We're going into the next stitch, easy peasy. And then in the next one, we're going to do an increase. So we're turning 12 to 18. The sequence you're repeating the whole time is 1 single crochet and then an increase. Go ahead and repeat that all the way around. Woohoo, our circle's getting bigger. Next round, you're going to find this repeating pattern now. We're going to do 1 increase, 1 single crochet, the next stitch another single crochet, and then an increase. So that's 4 stitches. It's 1, 1, increase. And then we'll do that all the way around. If I'm going too fast, don't forget there is a pattern too. If you bought the crochet kit, you'll have access to that beautiful PDF that walks you through each step of the way. This video tutorial just covers the PDF. If you don't want the kit, you can also purchase the pattern separately on Etsy. So if our last two are 1 single crochet and then an increase, and then 2 single crochet and then an increase, I bet you can guess what the next one is. You're gonna do 3, 1, 2, 3, and then an increase, and then repeat that all the way around. After that, the next round is gonna be 4 and then an increase, and then 5 and then an increase. And I'm gonna hop off camera and do that. I'll see you at the end of the round where it's 5 single crochets and then an increase. Hey look, we're at the base of the pot. If you find that yours is a little curved, that's okay. You're still figuring out tension. This pattern is pretty forgiving, so we don't have to worry too much about that. Mine's pretty flat. It's almost like a hexagon because those are where the increases stack. Our next round, we're gonna do something called the back loop only. Normally, you go through both loops, 1, 2, front and back. But for this round, we're actually just going to go through the back loop. So here, going the back loop. And we're gonna do that all the way around. Here's what it looks like after that back loop only. As you can tell, we're sort of getting a ridge. It's actually gonna push up, and this is gonna be the bottom, and then it's gonna stand up. For the next 10 rounds, we're gonna be placing 1 single crochet in every single stitch. Before we do so, here's a trick. Take out your stitch marker, and instead of marking the stitch, you're gonna mark the side of the stitch. Now, when we're putting 1 single crochet in every single stitch, when you come all the way back around, you'll know it's 1 and you don't have to move it every single time. You're just gonna go round and around and around until it looks like this. And you have 10 rounds of single crochet. So go ahead and do those 10 rounds, and I'll see you at the end, and you'll be so excited because it's gonna start looking like a pot. All we have to do is add the ridge. We finished our rounds, and it's totally looking like a pot now, right? So we're gonna move our stitch marker back up to the top. Hello, little stitch marker. If you see cat foot, no you don't. Okay, now we're gonna do this super cool stitch called a half double crochet. To do a half double crochet, you're gonna yarn over before you put in the stitch. So we just did our yarn over, insert into the stitch, yarn over, pull through, so you have 3 loops, yarn over, pull through all 3. Cool, huh? This is gonna make our ridges. Again, yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull up, yarn over, pull through. And you're gonna do that all the way around. And when you get to the end, you're gonna say, Kendall, this is not even. My ridge is not even. And don't worry, I'm gonna show you how to make it even. Super easy stitch called a slip stitch, but we're not there yet. So let me finish this part first. Working in my last stitch, taking out the marker. And this is what I mean, you're like freaking out. You're like, this is not even, it's not gonna look like what it's supposed to. Don't worry. We're gonna do something called a slip stitch. So you're gonna insert your hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, and pull through again. And we're gonna do that twice. Pull through, pull through. Oh yeah, look at that, nice and even. We're now gonna do something called fastening off. But you're gonna wanna pull a good amount of yarn. I like having a ton of extra because I don't wanna be short. Then cut your yarn and pull through. I'm literally just pulling this all the way. Ugh, there we go. And that's called fastening off. So now our work can't come undone. I'm gonna take this long end. Okay, maybe it's a little too long. Yours does not need to be that long. Putting it on my tapestry needle or yarn needle. And I'm gonna fold my pot lid over and then squishing it up. And we're going to sew our edges around so that we have this cute little border. Where am I? There we are. There's 100 different ways to sew things in crochet. I'll be honest, I just want it sewn. As long as it doesn't come undone, I don't care. So for this, I'm going back and forth, and I'm trying to make sure I go through the middle of the last row of stitches. but that's just preference because I think it looks a little cleaner that way. As long as it's folded over and it has a rim, who cares, right? So I'm gonna repeat this all the way around, but when you get to the end, don't cut off your string because we're actually gonna use that to sew your dirt in later. But for now, let me get all the way over so that we can add the smiley face. Alrighty, we're at our end. We could just set this aside for now. We'll use it to sew it later, but let's add the smile in the eyeballs. If you're using one of my crochet kits, and I sure hope you are, you're gonna be seeing these two things. Ooh, that's plasticky on it. Yeah, well, that's why I have that and not put it in a kit. I have all the rejects. 2 eyes, 2 backs, and some black yarn for a smile. In the pattern, it will tell you specifically, let's put our tail in the back, where to put the eyes, but I'll be real, I don't care. I want it to look cute and adorable. So I'm placing these without the backs, so it's not set in stone. I could take it out and do it again. I'm gonna put the mouth on, so then I can even everything out. Starting from the back, I am poking through, leave a tail. Do we want a big smile? Let's see what that looks like. You're gonna make a straight line. It's gonna look weird. And then you go underneath and scoop it down. And then tighten. Not too much though. You get this cute little guy. Are his eyes still even? I think so. You're gonna put the backs on. You want it to go in this direction because you want it to be flush and safe. You should hear a little clicking noise, or at least feel it. Yeah, you can't hear it, but it's there. On the inside, I'm gonna tie a knot of my black yarn, not too tight because we don't want it to pull, but we also don't want it to come undone. And then I trim it so it stays out of the way. Not too close, we don't want it to come undone. Woohoo! Oh my gosh, he's adorable. So we have this nice little pot, it sits on its own. Aren't you proud of yourself? You crocheted something, woohoo! Now we have to make the dirt and we have to make the green, the actual plant part. So let's do the dirt. You remember how we did the bottom? You did the magic ring with 6, 12, 18, 20, I won't count all the way up. So you have it goes increase 6, well 6, increase 6, 1, increase 2, increase 1, 2, 3, increase 4, increase, then 5, increase. We're gonna be doing the exact same thing. Why? Because we want it to fit right in it. So I have my brown yarn. Doing that magic ring again, making that X, holding, under, over, pull through, chain 1, and then our 6 single crochets on it. If I'm going too fast, please go back to the beginning of the video and follow the steps for the bottom of the pot. I promise it's the exact same thing. But you should feel a little bit more comfortable now, right? You just made that whole pot. Ooh, ooh. Where are we at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And tighten. Putting my stitch marker in. Let's get a little closer. Hi. Okay. Increase 6 times, and an increase is just 12 single crochets. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Next round, 1 single crochet, and then in the next stitch, an increase. I am not going to bore you and show you the exact same thing. You're going to do this until it's increase and then 5 single crochets all the way around. Then you're going to fasten off, just cutting and pulling through. Then you'll have your dirt which I can show you. Looks like this, but not in hot pink. It's gonna be in brown. But that's the idea of what we're doing, the exact same thing as the bottom of the pot. And now we get to work on the plant part. For our vines, they're gonna look something like this. Although these stitches in the middle, they could be more spaced out if you want more clumps or less clumps. This is all to make the string of pearls plant. So we're gonna start with a slip stitch. To do that, you hold your yarn, twist and pull. It should easily come undone. Twist, pull, insert your hook. I'm right-handed, so I'm going right to left. And then we're going to do chains. You can chain any number. I'm gonna chain, I think 29. The pattern will have a specific one, but if you want your leaves to be different lengths, you can do whatever. To do a chain, you yarn over, pull through. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, getting some more yarn, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. And you'll have a worm, but we don't want a worm, we want a leaf. So now we're gonna go back the other direction and go into the chains. And we're gonna do that by starting with a puff stitch. To do a puff stitch, you're gonna yarn over, insert, not into this first chain you made, but the second. You're gonna shove it in. Yarn over, pull through. So you have 3 loops. Yarn over again, insert into the same chain. Yarn over, pull through, so you're up to 5. And then repeat that one more time. Yarn over, insert. Yarn over, pull through, so you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. A lot of loops. Yarn over and pull through all of the loops. Might get a little tangled, so just go ahead and twist, kind of wiggle your way through. That first one's the hardest, so don't worry. Into the next chain, you're gonna insert and do a slip stitch. Yarn over, pull through, and pull through. And I'm gonna do that again into the next stitch. Pull through, pull through. And this is when I'm talking about the spacing. If you want lots of clumps, you can do less, or more clumps, you do more. I don't know. It's totally up to you how you want to do that. Let me show you the puff stitch again. Yarn over, insert. Yarn over, pull through. Yarn over, insert, pull through. Yarn over, insert, and pull through. And then yarn over, pull through all of them. And then we're going to do more slip stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4. You're going to repeat this all the way to the end. I like to end on slip stitches so I don't have a ball right at the end. But again, total preference what you want to do. See how these already look different. After you make 10 to 12 of these leaves, we're going to assemble it together. So let me show you how to do that. Now that we have all of our pieces, we got to put this together. So because these have 2 strings at the end, I'm going to show you a super easy way to attach them. So this is your front, this is your back. You can insert your hook, pull through one of the tails, move over a few stitches, pull through the other tail, and then tie a knot. This will make it super easy to attach them all. And then I'm just gonna give it a trim. And you're gonna do that with all your pieces. We have our dirt with all of our plant pieces on it. So if you have these tails, we can use it as stuffing later or throw them away. Personally, I throw them away, but hey, it's always nice to have extra stuffing. Bringing the pot back, using this big tail that we had to sew the rim down, just putting it back on my needle. Let's pull back a little bit. Hello. Okay. This is the edge of the dirt, obviously where you fastened off. I am relatively lining it up to the back. No, it does not have to be perfect at all. Just, you know, I don't know, match it up the back, I guess. You're going to go through the outside of the pot, through one loop of the dirt, and pull. Then when you go back, you're just gonna go through the pot, through the same stitch, but not through the dirt, because then it will fall apart. So again, through the pot, then only through the pot. Whoa, I am tangled. There we go. Yeah, my tail is like monster long. Yours does not need to be this long. Through the pot and the dirt. And then down through the pot. You're gonna repeat that all the way around, but before you get to the end, about 3/4 of the way around, we have to stuff it. So let me get 3/4 of the way around, and then we'll stuff it together. I'm about 3/4 of the way around. I have this little gap. Technically with stuffing, you can shove this whole thing in, it will be fine. But for the best stuffing methods, pull apart smaller clumps and place them in individually. This will create a fluffier look. For our plant, we want to make sure it has a nice flat bottom, so this can kind of help you shape it. If you want to do that, your bag does, if you're using a crochet kit, you do have extra stuffing, so do not feel obligated to use all of it. But of course, you can if you want it to be more solid. It really depends, up to you. I just want to make sure if you're going to display it, I'd make sure that it has a flat bottom or some sort of way for it to sit on a shelf. So I'm going to finish stuffing and I'm going to finish going all the way around, and then I'm going to show you what to do with this extra string once we're done. I finished sewing all the way around. I'm on the inside. So we don't just want to tie a knot and then cut this because it will fall apart. What we want to do is stick it down anywhere that's orange. Oh, hello. Pull it through. Not too tight so it bends, but you know, you want some slack inside there. Then you're going to trim close to the base, but don't cut your stitches. If it sticks out a little bit, you can poke it with your scissors or kind of rub it and it will go in. Oh my goodness. Look at him, or her, I don't know. Look how cute they are. They have all these little curlicues. Oh, so cute. I hope you had a great time following this tutorial. If you have any questions whatsoever, comment below or reach out to me. I'd be happy to answer them. If you purchase this through a crochet kit, thank you so much for buying a crochet kit. It helps me a lot, it supports me a lot, and I really appreciate it. And I hope I took the hard part out of learning to crochet for you so that you can just enjoy something for yourself. Again, I'm